Hey all, I'm Andy. Today we're going to be talking about the Schoningen throwing sticks. So, these throwing sticks are from around the Middle Pleistocene, which is around 300,000 years ago. They were found in Schoningen, Germany, along with the Schoningen spears, which are constructed in pretty much the same way. It's just a stick sharpened at two ends. These ones are around 60 centimeters, however much that is in English. The originals were made of, I believe, spruce. Spruce doesn't grow where I live, so this one is pine. I also have a couple over there made out of cherry. I'm curious to see how different a hardwood is versus just pine. So my aim today, I guess, is to just find out what these are really capable of, how far they can be thrown, what their effective range might be, and then how hard they hit, and then I guess how they compare to, say, like a spear, or I guess a small javelin and a bow and arrow, which I have just over there. For targets, I have these saber-toothed rabbits, which I'm sure were prevalent in the Middle Pleistocene. But yeah, without further ado, let's get throwing. Alright, first up we have the replica Schoningen throwing stick. Obviously this one is pine instead of fir. It's around just under 2 feet. As you can see, the cross section here, it's round. There's nothing fancy going on, it's just tapered at both ends. No flattening, no airfoils, no anything like that, just a stick. Let's see how it flies. So, I did hit the camera. Don't tell anyone. I'll probably just do a different angle from over there from now on. But as far as how this thing flew, it flew pretty well. It had a nice even flight. It had a nice spin to it. And as you saw, it hit that rabbit just flat on. Pretty good. Next I'm going to move on to this one here. This one is noticeably heavier. This one is made out of cherry. It's the same construction, it's just a stick with the ends tapered. This one is, I believe, 25 inches, just over 2 feet. So let's see how this one flies. Okay, so this one definitely hits harder. It's noticeably heavier, and I should mention that both of these are green, they're still wet. I just made these this morning, so I'd be curious to see how they compare once they dry out, but obviously that's another video. This one definitely makes a bigger impact. You probably saw the cloud of dirt that it kicked up back there. This one I think is certainly the way to go when compared to the pine one. Okay, next up we have this one. This one is curved, as you can see. It's got a flat section here. This one is based off of the cave find from Poland. The original was made out of mammoth ivory. Obviously, I don't have access to any of that. So this one is cherry, just like the previous stick. So let's see how this slightly different design goes. Okay, so this one definitely had a similar impact, I think, to the previous one. I feel like it had a smoother flight. I feel like this one could fly farther. I think definitely this cross section here is doing something for it. As you saw there, it hit that rabbit just as well as the other two. I think, frankly, any of these would be perfectly viable in a hunting scenario. This one, I think, though, just has, if you were maybe trying to hit something farther away, I think this one would be the way to go. So next up, I'm curious to see, what does just a stick do? Is all that carving and flattening really necessary, or will this get the job done? Let's find out. So, is all that carving really necessary? I think it is. Just because, as you probably saw there, what would happen is it would hit the ground, right in front of the rabbit and then bounce up over it. I think it was either hitting like this part and then, or maybe one of the ends and springing up. So I think that if they were smoother and sharpened, I don't think that would be as much of an issue. Certainly not with the flat-bottomed airfoiled one. So yeah, I definitely think that carving makes a difference. Anyway, let me try out the spear and the bow and arrow and see how those compare. So, do these simple pointed sticks really have an advantage over something as complex and powerful as a bow and arrow? For this application, I think so. For starters, I was able to make all 3 of these from tree to stick in just the span of 3 hours. Second of all, I think it takes a lot less practice to accurately hit something than it would with bow and arrow. Of course, that's not to say that these things are superior. Of course, they have their limitations. If you tried to hit something like a deer or something like that with them, certainly the deer is going to just run away. So they don't have a lot of stopping power for something that large. But for just small game, I think these are where it's at. So yeah, that was just a fun experiment. Really fun to make. If you guys want to see anything else like this, let me know. But yeah, y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for hanging around. If these rabbits were like an inch bigger, I'd be nailing them.